Hi viewers, I welcome you all to this Programming World channel. I hope you are doing good and I would like to thank you all for watching the videos what we have posted already in different playlists. So in the same perspective, I would like to post this video. So here I would like to discuss about a very important programming element in C++ programming language, that is class editing. The class, it is not only for C++ programming language. It is from that what happened is many programming languages, especially the high level programming languages which are used nowadays to implement high level applications, definitely they go with what the class concept. So class, it is mainly for implementing the object oriented programming concepts that helps the software development to effectively maintain the software and also increase the features wherever it is required. Okay, my dear viewers, first of all, I would like to discuss about the class ADT, and in upcoming videos, I plan to post the theoretical things what we have in our object-oriented programming concepts. So now we move to this video session. So here you can see the introduction of class. So class is what actually? It is a collection of similar type of objects. So please understand, so the problem what we dealing in software development, we can identify the different entities, and that entities, those entities may have what a similar type of structure. For them we can make a what a common structure with the help of what class programming element. So that's why we given a statement like it is what a collection of similar type of objects, and we can say the class is what a template of objects in the sense. So just by seeing the class structure we can able to understand what about those objects. Okay, what about the objects of the same class. Okay, that easily we can understand about their structure. Then class represents the characteristics of objects. As I said, the class is what a template for objects. Okay, so how the template means what will be given, so that will give the characteristics of the objects in the sense. So what about the values, or I mean the, like, the data it can able to take, the data that could be associated with a particular set of objects. That is what the characteristics. For an example, if you take student is a object, then there you can find a student should have what, register number, then name, then class, department. Like that you can identify associated information. So that is what the characteristics of a student. Okay, right. Then class consists of what actually the characteristics how that could be represented. Here you can see that I give a statement like characteristics of objects. So how those can be mentioned, as I listed, like the student can have student register number, then department, like that I said, no, those are what attributes. And for processing those attributes we want to have operations for those objects. So if you take a student, okay, you can have the student register number, then department. Beyond that what we have in the sense his academic performance. So we may be in need of what computing the average or CGPA of a student in exams. So for that we need to have a operation. Okay, so that is what the behavior of the object what we going to create for a class. Okay, then attributes which represent what the characteristics of objects, as I said, and operations which represent what actually what kind of operations you can apply on objects, and also we can represent the behavior of the objects in our system. Okay, so very important point is here. So objects are same type, similar type for a class, but the objects are having different value. For an example, if you take students, so students are what common entity. Okay, I mean students, it is what a common structure that could be given to any student studying in college or school, but their values will be different. For an example, if you take a student, his register number may be different with what another student, and performance wise somewhat it may be equal or it may be different, and name also sometimes same or different. So that's why objects are similar type but their values may be different. Okay, right. So here you can see a class which consists of what? Different circles. Actually a rounded rectangle box, it represents what actually here? Class. So class is what? A collection. So that's why we have put it in a, all circles are put it in what? A box. Okay, a collection. To represent this a collection. So there you can find different size of circles, and you can find how we can identify they are different in the sense with the help of their radius. Okay, just by manually seeing that we can identify those are our different circles, but how the computer can able to understand the sense just by following the radius of those circles, the computer can able to understand the circles are in different size. Okay, so here you can see that class is what? Collection of circle objects and what it represents. So each circle is having what? Attributes like radius, area and circumference. The attributes are area and circumference are derived attributes, in the sense those will be computed from the radius attribute. So if you feed the radius, if you give the radius value of circle, by applying the suitable formula, we can able to compute the area and circumference of the particular circle. Okay, that's why we call it as what? Derived attributes. Okay, then here you can see the operations are. What kind of operations you can find? For circle you have identified the different attributes like radius, area and circumference. But operations wise, you see, first of all we need to have an operation for getting the input. Okay, so we have to create an input function to get the radius for a circle. Then we have to define an operation to compute what? The area. So what is the formula we may have? This is the formula, pi r squared. So that I made like this. Okay. Then you can define another operation, that's for what? Computing the circumference of circle by using 2 pi r. Okay. So this is a formula we have to apply on our operation. Okay. Right. So here you can see what is the syntax to be used for creating our class. So here you can see the syntax access specifier, and in that under the access specifier you can declare the attributes which are required for specifying or creating the structure or characteristics of objects. Okay, then we have another access specifier. So that's about what? Operations. Okay, you see, specifier accessing operations. Okay, so is what used for declaring our attributes. So here we have data which are associated for our objects. Then specifier means in the sense what? Whether the elements can be accessed inside or outside. Okay, that's the meaning of this. Okay, and here he should have the brace. It was missed here, and also we have to use semicolon to put to represent, that is what? The end of class scope. Okay, then access specifier, those are what? Actually one is what? Private. Okay, then public. Okay, then protected. Okay, like that we have different kinds of access specifiers. Okay, so private, public, protected. So private means within the class scope only we can access. So public in the sense we can access outside of the class. Okay, protected, that we will discuss in one of the concept. Okay, it is used in inheritance concept, that we will discuss when we introducing about inheritance concept. Okay, so now you people understand what is the meaning of private and public. So mostly whenever we declare a private scope, why? In the sense within the private scope only the attribute should be visible. It should not be visible outside of the class scope for maintaining the security. Okay, right. So now you can see that, so this you can understand. So here we made it in different, made it as a compartment notation. So here you can find class name is here, then attribute it is on the card. There I have declared different attributes of this circle object. Okay, circle class. So area, circumference, like that we have taken. And operations actually get radius, then compute area, then compute circumference. Like that I have proposed different operations which may be possible for a circle class. Then how it can be created in our C++? You can find the exact the we use for, and also here you see the brace which is required actually here. Okay, here you have to put brace, okay, and semicolon, right? So class name, that is what circle. Afterwards, yeah, as I told you, private to be used for declaring our attribute. So int radius, float area, then circumference, like that I have made it in float type. Afterwards, in public scope, I have made the definitions for different operations, because these operations can be executed or can be called outside of our class scope. Okay. Then here you can see that the syntax for operation. So that is what class name, then object name, as like how we create the variable like int x, int a. In the same way, the class is also what a type. Okay, so simply you can use the class name. Afterwards you have to provide the object what you want to create for your class. Okay, here you can find, yeah, circle C1, like that. Circle, that is a class name. Afterwards I created what, C1, that is what the object of our circle class. Then how you can execute the operations, because is use can use them and go over the dot operator. Here object name, that's a syntax. So you have to use object first. Afterwards you have to take your dot operator, then connect the operation which is to be executed. This is the operation calling. Okay, as like function calling member functions. Here what's in C++ operations are known as member functions. So we have to use dot operation, dot member functions when required. Okay, right. I think you understand about the flow. First we have to create the class structure. We have to create the class structure, required class. Okay, after we have to create a class, then you can execute your take the values, do the computation, then get the result. Okay, right. Let's show an example. So through that you can able to understand. Okay. Yeah. So here you can find a small code. So here I have taken only what actually the area, radius, area and circumference. Actually circumference. Okay, in the initial level, you see we have taken only what the area to be computed. Okay, so class circle is declared and the properties are declared under private scope. You see, by default, if you not explicitly mention the access specifier, by default private. Okay, I mentioned that the radius is private specifier. Okay, under the public scope only we which are required to execute outside of our class scope. Okay, see this is what getting the radius, okay, by using input statement. Afterwards we have a function which can help us to compute the area, and that will return the output to our main function. Okay, so here you can see that object creation. Okay, as we discussed in the theory, same thing we have followed here. So simply we have to give, we have the class name, afterwards the object name, then you can call the function using dot operator. So that time what happens, no, this get radius function will be executed, that will take the input. Afterwards you see we just go with what an output statement that it display the computed area. So here you see it is what statement we have in this compute area function, automatically that will be returned to our output function. So that will be displayed output here. Okay. Now we will show that You understand this? Yes, there is no in the for the circle. Okay. Okay, I think it's compiling. Yes, it's ready now. Yeah. So now it is asking for what the radius value. I'm giving like 20. So now the area which is the circle radius is what? 1200. Sorry, 1200. Okay. So you can first time I taken only what the radius. Afterwards I computing the area of the circle. Suppose in future what happen is the people asking for adding one more function, that is what actually the maintenance in software maintenance, what we people do in the sense we increasing the features. So increasing the feature in the sense what we taking the new attributes and also what we taking the new operations which are suitable for satisfying the new requirements. So in that perspective, suppose user asking that we want to have a circumference operation, then the associated code that could be added into our class. Okay, now what happen is if you go with this, okay, so you can take those attributes, okay, as I said, circumference, the new attribute which is added simply, and the corresponding operations also we have taken. Then what we doing, we take into already I have made everything here, so simply I am copy pasting. You can understand about that. Okay, now if you go with what, if you go for executing that, you can identify. If you give a radius value, you can identify the area and also circumference for the given radius value. You can see that. Okay, that's the meaning here. You people can understand what I am telling. So you see here simply what I have added one operation, that's about what increasing the feature. So the class behavior, it is what increased in terms of what adding a new attribute and also the new relevant operation to do the required executions for satisfying the expected requirements. Okay, and one more thing, you can create n number of objects. Here you see I have created only one object. I can go with what another object also C2. Okay, I can take the same kind of things. Okay, so you can copy it, you can understand that. Okay, so C2, okay, instead of C1 now I can take C2, and also as I said objects are similar type but their values are different. Okay, so when you execute this, what happened now, very first time it works for your circle 1 and C1 object, afterwards it works for your C2 objects of your circle class. Okay, that's the meaning. Here you can see that I'm giving what 20. Okay, that result was received. Afterwards I'm going for what another one 30. Okay, so that is what second circle. So it is computed here like that, it is happening. Okay, so you people have to understand one thing, that objects are what same type but they can have different values, and whenever you want to have any new relevant operations to improve the features for a class, that you can simply add in your class scope, and the corresponding operations also you can take it afterwards when where it is required in your program execution, that you have to take it for executing the corresponding operation to satisfy the required behavior or required operations to satisfy our customer or user requirements. Okay, I hope you people understand about very detailed what I discussed about the class, and also how what about the structure of the class and why we creating the class, and after beyond that I have discussed about how you can create the class in our C++ and how you can take the objects for executing the operations, and what is the meaning of maintenance, how that could be implemented in class scope. So like that in detail I have discussed about that. Is a very important one for everyone, the people those who are looking for the IT jobs. Okay, so very first we should know about what is class, and what is the exact use of class, and what about the different parts of the class, and how we can use them in our programming language. I hope you understand about the concept of class. If you like this video, please click on the like button, and if any of you people new to this channel, I request you Please subscribe and also see the playlist already what we posted for C language and also C++ programming language and videos whatever we uploaded to learn the basics of C, C++ and the problem solving skills to face the placement written test and also to face the placement exams. Thank you for watching this. Thank you.